Now, Tommy Jones had a couple of tough matches at the end of the afternoon session, was involved in that grueling doubles match, which his partnership came out the wrong end of, and then was in the Baker when he bowled an absolute nightmare of a frame, missed the headpin twice. So here's a man who needs to retune the radar a little bit, and that's a little bit more like Tommy Jones.
Well, you know, with Tommy Jones, he's one of the up-and-coming stars of the PBA Tour, and he's one of the greatest bowlers we've seen in a long time. But I tell you what, if he takes Torgersen lightly, he's going to have something coming to him. So, because Torrey's a great player and he's got his credentials.
You know, I'm guessing, Pete, that in bowling, like in so many sports, you've got to have a short memory. Something good or if something bad happens, you have to just forget about it and move on. Oh, you would know. You had some rotten luck last night. That 10-pin did you 3 times. Tommy in the pocket again. No mistake with the 10-pin.
Tommy it just looks totally focused on what he needs to do. He's thrown 3 perfect shots, and, you know, that's just being focused on what you need to do at the time.
Well, so far, we are looking at perfection. Jones is keeping it that way. That was just a mirror image of the last one.
Actually, his first 4 shots have been mirror images of everything. I mean, 10 in the pit, 4 times in a row. You can't get better than that.
So there you go. X marks the spot. Tommy Jones, literally standing room only. It's wonderful to see. There's 1 or 2 little seats dotted around somewhere, but if you got here late, you're standing up. And it is so good to see. Can be distracting for the bowlers, but it's almost like you don't mind. I mean, you know, they're a very respectful crowd, I've noticed. Yes, they're cheering for Team Europe, but they're not against you guys.
Oh no, the crowd for the 2 days have just been fantastic. They've rooted for us, but naturally, you know, they root for the Europeans even more. But they're a very respectful crowd and very knowledgeable crowd about what's going on.
And what they know right now is that they are watching 2 very good bowlers indeed, and Tommy Jones keeps up in the ante. He's the lead-off guy. He has a 5-bagger in making this a fascinating contest in this opening session. These young lads in blue here, these are the guys that had made their Tommy Jones banner. I wonder why they were getting behind Tommy. There it is, right there. Well, this fella nearest us. There you go. There's the touchdown. Tommy strikes again. Tommy signed it for him as well.
Well, Tommy's one of the most loved bowlers around the world, even in Asia and Europe and the U.S. Everybody loves him.
And there are reasons why. Oh, look at that.
That's some of the fight that Timmy Mack wanted us to show, that when we start stringing strikes, to show our emotion about it.
Well, it took a while for the emotion to show, but this 6-bagger and Tommy Jones let rip. 351 on the revs. And very happy with that.
Yeah, I guess he feels his thumb hole might be a little loose, and he's adding a piece of tape to make it maybe a little more snug in his thumb hole so he can relax his hand a little bit more.
So I'm thinking the man's bowled 6 strikes. You wouldn't change anything, but obviously you've just got to be so finely attuned to the slightest little changes.
Oh, yes, you do. I mean, if you feel the slightest little difference in your thumb hole, then you need to change it immediately. Good example is Norm Duke. You see him fidget with his thumb hole just about every shot he throws. So Tommy knows something was wrong with his thumb hole, and he's made the adjustment now.
Well, 6 out of 6 for both Tommy Jones and Torgersen. Can they keep it going? Jones certainly can. Whatever the adjustment, it worked.
Well, Tommy just there, he put a piece of tape in his ball, got the thumb hole a little bit snugger, and see, that ball was dead flush. Instead of just slapping the 10 out, he put 10 in the pit right there, and that's something that Tommy knows how to do.
We may need a 300 game. Well, it goes on and on and on. I don't suppose we should be surprised, but Guy, are you surprised?
I tell you, Oscar can't do anything wrong. We all expected him to come out first. You know, Tim brought Tommy, the hitman, up there front to protect against Oscar. Oscar still sent Torrey out, had faith, and he's really delivered. But I just want to see someone get a bit of chirp. I mean, someone's got to break someone's stride here. It's going too easy. I want to see some chirps flying, Pete. I don't know what you think. Some body language, some screaming, some shouting, just to try and change up the momentum. Right now, it's just all going too easy.
Well, yeah, the guys are a little subdued right now with their emotions, but you know what? When it's this close of a match, you kind of got to keep your emotions down a little bit and not get too psyched up.
16 consecutive strikes. Make it 17. That was a close one.
Tommy looked like he got that ball in just a little bit, and it held line and wound up flush. And I think Tommy considers he got a very, very good break right there.
Yes, but this is what happened to Tommy, if you remember, in that doubles match, and then it carried on in the Baker. He started to lose the line. He got a strike on a Brooklyn hit, so he's going to have to watch that next time. Frame 10. A lot of rotation. There's 10.
Tommy, see, I told you, Tommy, if he threw that strike, he'd show a little bit more emotion. He just turned to the team and said, that's right, that's us, we're back.
Well, talk about rehabilitating yourself after that Baker game. That is long forgotten now. Ancient history for Tommy Jones. He's back, and he means business. And Tim Mack's decision to have Tommy as his leadoff man fully paid off.
Well, it did. I mean, and I was really surprised when the European team didn't throw Osku out there on the fresh against Tommy, and because Osku on the fresh is, you know, averaging 260 to almost 270, so I'm really surprised about that.
Now, can he get the 300? Oh, there's another. And I tell you what, all these fans were just on their feet there. Everybody.
It's so neat to see, because the crowd here has just been so respectful to everybody this week, and to see them cheer like this for us, I mean, it's just an amazing thing for us to see here.
Tommy Jones stands on the threshold of history. Last year, he bowled a 300 in the Weber Cup. He would be the first player ever to bowl 300 games live on British television twice. So the point is won, but we are all rooting on this one ball, this for the perfect game.
I would think nothing less if it wasn't 10 in the pit.
He's got it! And a standing ovation.
Tommy, like I said, is just one of the greatest players on the PBA Tour. He's always been there when it's under pressure and needing a strike to win. He's just always been there, and he just proved it to us again tonight that he is one of the best out there.
A magical moment in the history of this competition.